My name is Emily Carter, and I've always believed that music can heal. It has been my escape ever since I was a child growing up in a small town in Oregon. Every note I played on my piano felt like a whisper of my soul, something words could never fully express. Music was my peace, my diary, and my best friend. For as long as I could remember, I played alone. I wasn't famous or even trying to be. My music was private, a little world of melodies I created late at night when the world was silent. I'd play after work, sometimes losing track of time as I tried to compose songs that sounded like the feelings I couldn't say out loud. One Saturday afternoon, I was home alone, sitting by the window with my old upright piano. Sunlight poured through the glass, and the warm glow made the living room look like a painting. I was working on a piece that felt different, so emotional I could barely keep my hands steady on the keys. I didn't notice that someone had walked into the house. When I finally turned around, I froze. It was Ethan Walker, my neighbor from next door. He was standing quietly by the door, holding a box of tools. He had come by to help fix a broken fence I'd mentioned earlier that week. But instead of calling out, he had been standing there for a while, listening. He smiled awkwardly. "I'm sorry, Emily. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just didn't want to stop you." "That was beautiful." I laughed nervously, brushing my hair back. "Oh my gosh, you scared me. I didn't even hear you come in." He apologized again, setting his tools down. "I didn't realize you played like that. I mean, I've heard you before through the window, but this sounded different." "What song is that?" "It's one I've been working on," I said softly. "I don't even have a name for it yet." He nodded, stepping closer but keeping a respectful distance. "It sounds like something special. You should record it someday." No one had ever said that to me before. I'd always thought my music wasn't worth sharing. But something about the way he said it made me believe, even just for a moment, that maybe it was. Over the next few weeks, Ethan began helping me around the house more often, fixing things I hadn't gotten around to, always showing up with his easy smile and calm presence. He'd sometimes ask me to play while he worked, saying it made the day go by faster. I didn't mind. It felt nice to have someone who appreciated the music without judgment. One evening, while I was practicing a song for an upcoming local talent show, he stopped by again. He stood by the door, quietly as usual, listening. When I finished, he clapped lightly. "You're getting even better, Emily. That's the one you should perform." "I don't know," I said, my fingers trembling on the keys. "What if I mess up?" He smiled. "Then you start again. That's what makes music honest." Those words stuck with me. The night of the talent show came. My nerves were unbearable. I could feel my heart pounding as I stepped onto the small stage of the community center. The audience wasn't big, but to me, it felt like a stadium. My hands were cold, and my voice inside whispered every doubt I'd ever had. But then, I spotted Ethan sitting in the front row, giving me an encouraging nod. I took a deep breath and began to play. The song flowed out of me like water from a spring, pure, unfiltered emotion. Every note carried my fears, my hopes, my memories. When I finished, the silence that followed was heavy, and for a moment, I thought I'd failed. Then, the applause started. It wasn't thunderous, but it was genuine. And right there, in the front row, Ethan was clapping the loudest, standing up, smiling proudly. After the show, he met me backstage. "You did it," he said, eyes shining. "That song, it was incredible." I laughed through my tears. "I couldn't have done it without you." He shook his head. "You did that on your own. I just believed in you." That night, as we walked home under the quiet stars, I realized something I hadn't before, that music wasn't just about the sound. It was about the people who helped you find your voice when you thought you'd lost it. Over time, Ethan and I became inseparable friends. We spent evenings sharing playlists, talking about dreams, and even writing a few songs together. He wasn't a musician, but he had a good ear and an even better heart. Months later, we performed together at a local charity event, me on piano, him on guitar. We called our piece, "The Window Song," because, as he said with a grin, "That's how it all started, the day I heard you through the window." When the crowd applauded, I glanced at him and felt something warm and deep, a sense of connection, of gratitude, of shared joy. Not romance, not some whirlwind story, but something far more enduring, friendship built on inspiration and kindness. Even now, every time I sit by that same window and play, I think of that day, the day he walked in unexpectedly and changed how I saw my own music. He didn't just surprise me, he helped me believe that the melodies I created were worth hearing. And maybe that's what life is about, not waiting for someone to hand you your moment, but finding the courage to let your song be heard, even when you think no one is listening.